Welcome back to KP's Kingdom, cooking with KP, and today I'm going to show you how to make my shepherd's balls pie. Yes, my shepherd's balls pie, and this is a really cool little dish. Right, I'm adding some herbs, a teaspoon of parsley, around about half a teaspoon's worth of thyme, half a teaspoon's worth of rosemary. You can add more or less. Put that in your spice grinder, give that a little bit of a blitz. Right, in a food processor, here I've got 500 grams worth of ground lamb or lamb mince. Right, I'm just going to put that straight into our food processor, just like that. I want to make this a little bit thinner and a little bit finer than you do get it from your local butcher or from your local supermarket. So I'm going to give that all a little bit of a blitz up, just like that. Okay, very simple. Make sure we get as much of the fat and all that mince out. You will find that when you process the lamb, it will sort of leach out a bit of fat because lamb is fatty. All those spices that we just ground up, put those straight in, and we're going to add in about a teaspoon's worth of freshly ground black pepper and a teaspoon's worth of salt. Right, that can all go straight in just like that. Lamb can really handle a good amount of salt, so we're going to give all of that a quick stir through just like that. I'm going to add in one beaten egg. Right, that's just going to help everything stick together. It might make things a little bit messy while making up the shepherd's balls, but look, it's going to be worth it in the end. Right, that's why I'm wearing the gloves. So give that a bit of a stir through first of all with the spoon, and then get your hands in there and get that egg and all those seasonings all mixed up very well into that lamb mince. Right, so just keep working that through for a minute or so. Won't take you very long, and if you haven't had a shepherd's pie before, well, this is just a really cool different little take on this as well. What I'm doing is making up some nice small lamb meatballs. Right, I'm just going to use a teaspoon, or a coffee spoon, and we're just going to basically make up some nice little meatballs like I'm doing right there, and it's going to give your pie a very different texture. You're not going to end up with a runny type of sloppy mess. You're going to end up with a pie where it's got real nice texture to it. There's all our balls. We're going to put that into the refrigerator for at least half an hour so they can firm up again. In the meantime, we've got to make our topping for our shepherd's ball pies, and all we're simply going to do, I'm going to add in around about 1 cup's worth of potato I've peeled, cut them into nice little chunks, and some salt in the water, and we're going to bring that up to the boil. We're going to cook those off until they go nice and tender. Alright, so just run a knife through, and if the knife goes through without too much resistance, you've got the perfectly cooked potatoes to make our topping for this pie. Alright, Mrs. KP is going to take those off, drain them for me, bring it back. Alright, I'm going to put that back on the heat, and what I want to do, I want to drain out and steam out as much liquid out of those potatoes that I possibly can without burning the pot. So just let it sit there. You can see the steam coming out, all that excess liquid. We're going to give it a shake from time to time, make sure nothing's sticking on the bottom, and by taking out this excess water from the potatoes, we're going to end up with a really nice potato that is going to absorb all of the bits and pieces for our whipped potato, which is what I'm making here. So the hot plate is still on. I'm just going to start mashing these up with a potato masher, of course. I'm going to add in lots of butter, probably about 60 grams on this one. It's probably not the richest whipped potato that I've made, but it is going to be rich. And as you can see, I mash and stir at the same time, so I'll push down and stir and push down and stir, and you'll end up with a very fine potato. Add a little dash of milk. We still have this on the heat, so it doesn't matter if the milk is cold. So I'm just going to keep doing that mashing and stirring type motion, just like I'm doing there. And considering with me and my MS, I'm not doing too bad on this particular one. Sometimes I need to get Mrs. KP to give me a hand as the fatigue drops in. Right, we're going to put the potato over to the side, a little bit of oil in the pan, just like that. We're going to give that a sort of medium type heat, and all we are simply going to do now is start dropping our little shepherd's balls into the pan like this. Now, mind you, no shepherds were hurt in the making of this recipe, so don't go calling the authorities on this one. So we're simply just going to cook these little balls off, just get some nice brownage happening, and this is another thing that is going to give your pie a really different flavour, that little bit of caramelization that we're getting on the meat. And as you can see, a lot of fat has already come out of that meat. It's going to make your pie just again a little bit nicer to eat. But so just keep cooking those off. They're probably going to take about 5 or 6 minutes or so, not very long. And once you're pretty happy with them, we can take those off and put those to the side, just like that. Really, really nice and simple. Now I'm going to leave that pan pretty much alone, and while we get on with our next step, we're going to make up a bit of a sauce to a bit of a gravy, if you want, to go into our pie. I've got one very finely diced onion that's going straight in with all that lamb fat. The onion's going to soak up that lamb fat. That's even more flavour, and it's going to cook off very, very quickly, as you can see. So once we get a little bit of colour on there, just like that, I'm going to add in some carrot. Now I've had a little bit of leftover carrot from the night before. You can actually use frozen carrot, put that straight in. It's not going to hurt, right? If you're going to use fresh carrot, pre-boil them just for a minute or so, just to get a little bit of softness happening. Right, some beef stock. I've got around about half a cup's worth, sorry, about a cup's worth. That's going straight in, just like that. A little dash of Worcestershire sauce that's going in. It's going to give us a little bit more flavour, right? And you can use as much or little of that Worcestershire sauce as you like. 2 tablespoons worth of tomato paste concentrate. That goes straight in. It's going to give us a little bit of sweetness, but we also want a little bit of sour in with our gravy, and that's where a good squirt of some tomato sauce will go in. Will give it that nice little bit of vinegary balance to this particular gravy that we are creating. So we're going to simply just keep stirring this around, get all those flavours mixed and incorporated, just like I'm doing there. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of the pan. Right, we're going to add in around about a cup and a half's worth of frozen peas. They can go in at this stage. Wait for the heat to come back into all of our mixture. Okay, those frozen peas are going to reduce the temperature of what we've had going. I'm going to start layering up a little bit of flour at a time. Right, just normal flour. No need to use corn flour on this one. Just a little bit of flour. Stir that through, and that is all going to sort of be incorporated in with the gravy. It's not going to take very long at all, and you'll start to notice your gravy or your sauce at the moment will start to thicken. I don't want a really runny sauce for this, so I'm just going to cook that off, and as I see fit, I'll add maybe a little bit more flour to that. As you can see, the balls are sitting on top of the gravy, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to be a nice, rich and hearty gravy. Put the balls straight back in, just like that. Give all of that a bit of a stir, and as you can see, as I'm stirring, it's leaving a line behind, so that way we know we've got a nice thickness to this particular gravy. Alright, little pie dish. I'm going to give that a bit of a spray with some spray oil, just as an insurance policy. I've got a sheet of pre-bought frozen puff pastry. Let that defrost a little bit, and as it starts to sink in, we can start getting a second sheet and filling up the gaps that are in our pie base. Right, so just lay a little bit around the edge, just like that. Press it all down, get everything to meld together. It's not going to take a lot of effort at all, and as you can see, we've got a pie base made up. Now we're going to have a lot of overhang, so just grab a knife, run that along the top of the pie dish, just like that, and we're going to clean the top of this pie casing up. Right, so just keep doing that. I'm going to prick some holes in the bottom just using a fork. It's going to stop any bubbles from arising underneath, and it's time to load our filling into our pie casing that we've just made. So just keep loading that up with all the gravy and all the vegetables and our shepherd's balls, of course. That can all go straight in just like that. Now it's going to be time for us to put our topping on. I'm not going to get fancy and use a piping bag or anything like that. I have done that before, but this actually works out to be really nice and rustic and will give us a really nice finish on the top. So I'm just going to put little spoonfuls of our whipped potato down just like that. Make sure we cover everything, make sure we have no gaps. That is going into the oven, 180 degrees. I'm going to let that sit for around about 25 to 30 minutes or so, and it should come out looking something like that. A beautiful shepherd's balls pie. Love to see you try and make this one at home. It is fun, it has an amazing flavour and texture, and it's really easy to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. It gives me confidence, should make you feel warm and fuzzy too. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified every time a new video goes up. And please share this video with all your friends on all platforms of social media. We are trying to get the KP's Kingdom out there. Please leave a comment. Love reading, love responding to them, as always. But in the meantime, if you want to learn just a new way of doing an old classic just like this one, and doesn't cost a lot of bucks, well, you need to come and join the family, my family. Hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. Off to eat my shepherd's balls pie, and I will catch you next time.